Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I'm Lunar D8. So let's play Higurashi. Just finished the prologue, which is Miyo Takano's backstory. We should be hopping into the story proper for the final chapter of this visual novel. How many parts will this take? I don't know. But I'm enjoying each part, and I have enjoyed every video I've made of this series, I guess. And who knows, maybe the author of this visual novel will make more one day. It is September 4th, 2025, 9:13 a.m. America time. Welcome! Welcome to the world of Higurashi, Chapter 8, Matsuribayashi. In this world, you will be able to recreate the story from Hanyu's point of view. Your objective is to create the June 1983 ideal to you. You will need to collect many different fragments to make that possible. However, Takano's conviction is very strong. To overturn it, you will need a lot of effort and a lot of fragments. I'll warn you right now, it'll be a slow and painful process. Hanyu went through it for over 100 years, and she even had to stop and give in to fate. Defeating Takano's conviction will not be easy. The trial in this world will put you through as much pain as Hanyu had to endure. You may surrender, just like Hanyu did, after being emotionally worn down by the constant repetition of the worlds woven by the countless fragments. When you feel like surrendering, you can end this game at any time. But if you do, the worlds revolving around your friend's fate will be limited to Onakakushi through Minagoroshi. By forgetting about this world and uninstalling this product, you will finally accept death, just like Rika did. Your ideal, June 1983, can be created by putting together 50 fragments that are scattered all over this world. To connect these fragments together, you will need the right ones. There are 50 of them, which may be dizzying. However, this world isn't that merciless. To ease your pain, there will be a little help for you. When you choose the wrong pieces, your only ally here will give you a sign that it's not yet time to put those fragments together. As long as the sign remains, you won't be able to connect them. You might as well go look for different ones. After you put other fragments together, you might be able to connect the ones you couldn't put together earlier. When that happens, she'll let you know. Let's put those fragments together. Then you'll be able to join the other ones too. When you connect all 50, they'll become one big fragment. There you'll find your ideal June 1983. That's when the long-awaited Matsuribayashi will begin. The festival accompanying arc. Though technically there was an anime-only version, also for a different video game, that was like a Miyakatsu something, I don't know. There was a alternate good ending to the final of this, which, in the playlist called End of Higurashi, whenever we get done with this game, I'll have it in the very end of the playlist. Heck, I'll probably also have it in the description, along with one of the other Higurashi gameplay videos. Before you peek at each fragment, why don't you line up all 50 of them first? Most of them require other fragments, so there are only a few you can actually look at. Let's try to find those first. To see the conditions for connecting fragments, just point the cursor at them. This is all very odd, but I'm okay with it. Before anything else, let's find the ones you can look at without any conditions. This will be an extremely long and difficult trial. Let me tell you again, hanyu challenged this for over 100 years and gave up on it. If you believe in miracles in the same way your friends do, even if you don't live in the world where they live, if you believe in them, welcome! Welcome to the world of Higurashi, Chapter 8, Matsuribayashi. In this world you'll be tested to see if you believe in the world that Rika and the others believed in. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their strength. The June 1983 created by Takano is nearly indomitable. She's gathered many people whose powers are beyond the average person to her side, her backers being at the center of national authority. Even if 100 dice all rolled once, there wouldn't even be a chance to defeat her. In other words, a miracle is the only way forward. A miracle happens only when everyone combines their strength, and you are one of them. Are you ready? I'm more than ready. The key to a long journey is not to pressure yourself too hard. And I know I've said it quite a bit, guys, but again, the two best games ever made for the PS1, Brave Fensu Musashi and Mega Man Legends. Well, let's take it at a light pace. I'll work while drinking my usual wine. Shall we begin? We have all the time in this world. I don't know if I have to actually click at things, or this was just immersion? I don't know. Either way, I'm okay. Either way, You have obtained new fragments. Okay. Well, this is new. Oh. Wow. This is a lot, but I'm all for it. This is pretty cool, actually. I like this. C103 dose experiment. Satoko Hojo's detailed test result is required. Kyosuke Irie's decision is required. H170. The discontinuation of Satoko Hojo's dissection plan is required. Kyosuke Irie's motive to become a doctor is required. The third year's curse of Oyoshiro-sama is required. Okay. So like this, the Dodus experiment, in order to get this fragment, we have to have these other things, which I think are also other fragments. Miu, Takano in a nurse uniform. Not looking threatening. Research is going well. An L5 stage patient's dissection is required. Help from the Queen Carrier is required. A live specimen for research is required. A tragedy at the dam construction site is required. I was not expecting all of this, but okay. The death of the construction site manager is required. The hospitalization of Satoko Hojo is required. Rika's father being marked as an opportunist is required. Rika's mother's suspicion is required. The death of Satoko Hojo's aunt is required. This fragment is required first. The fourth sacrifice. Red capsule. Third sacrifice. Second sacrifice. First sacrifice. Dam construction operation withdrawal. At a quarry on the Agauchi, help from the queen carrier is required. Distrust of the mother of a queen. Results of the research on C103 and H107 are required. The truth about the Shirakawa Park accident is required. Requesting assistance from a queen. The research needs to have stagnated. Instructions for kidnapping of operation of minister's grandson are required. Okay. A murder with a dismembered body. Repetitive apologies are required. An accident at Shirakawa Park. Satoshi Hojo must not be allowed to visit his sister at the clinic. Satoshi Hojo's sense of responsibility as a big brother is required. Mysterious death of the Furude couple. An execution order for the third year's curse is required. A declaration of war from Kurado Oishi is required. A bat to beat her to death is required. Death of Satoshi's aunt. Okay. Irie's background. Kyosuke Irie's reminiscence is required. Kyosuke Irie, this fragment is required first. A routine inspection. Prior consent for the collection of cerebrospinal fluid is required. Disappointment. The death of Koizumi Sensei is required. Deja vu. Completion of the medicine C117 is required. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rika Furude's high fever is required. Jiro Tomataki's slight fever is required. Jiro Tomataki, this fragment is required first. The death of the dam construction site manager is required, the old guy. A roll of a 1. A bottle of wine for a toast is required. Jiro Tomataki's promise is required. The draft of an emergency manual is required. A local explanatory meeting. This fragment is required first. Depression of a Shinto priest. Rika and Sato's shopping trip is required. The Shinto priest contacting the Irie institution is required. Suffering of a big brother. Rock candy as a treat is required. Satoko Hojo's detailed test result is required. The Hojo siblings. A conflict between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family is required. The self-introduction of Satoko Hojo is required. Satoshi Hojo. This fragment is required first. Satoshi Hojo's part-time job is required. Footsteps following Satoshi Hojo are required. A notice of leave of absence. Footsteps in the fourth year. Satoshi Hojo's awareness of his sins is required. The forgiveness of Rena Ryugu's sins is required. Preview of lots for sale. The Ryugu family's move is required. The fourth year's curse is required. New win. The Ryugu family's move is required. A watermelon from the Sonozaki family is required. Formation of a club. Satoshi Hojo's awareness of his sins is required. The mysterious death of the Furude couple is required. Keiichi Mabura. The tea set on the veranda being put away is required. Ichiro Mabura inspecting a vacant lot is required. Riena Ryugu. A red capsule is required. Strawberry milk is required. Mion Sonozaki. Satoko Hojo. This fragment is required first. Rika Furude. A conflict in the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family is required. June 1983. The Revenge of Mio Takano is required. Keiichi Mabura changing schools is required. An invitation to an end. A raw sea urchin and vitamin A are required. A big teddy bear is required. She needs moral support. A fragment of Himatsubushi. The game board must be set up. A fragment of Onikakushi. Game board. A fragment of Sumi Horibaroshi. A fragment of Watanagashi. A fragment of Miyakashi. A fragment of Tatari Goroshi. By the way, Chapter 1. Also, there's anime versions of it where they change all of these. But, end of this one, Keiichi beats Mion and Rena with a baseball bat. Watanagashi. Complicated to explain, but simply put, Keiichi gets stabbed outside his house at the end. Tatari Goroshi. Satoko's horribly abused by her uncle, and Keiichi kills him with a baseball bat. Huh. I think this one's the next one. This is the one with Akasaka visiting a few years earlier about the dam construction and the minister's grandson. And Miyakashi is a different take of Watanagashi, where it's a wonderful story about Shion. We'll leave it at that. This is Rena fighting aliens. And Minagroshi's probably in the next area. Tatari Goroshi is required. That makes sense. A fragment of Matsuribayashi. 7 fragments are required. The previous 7 chapters. And of course, I have already played Ho and Rei. So this is a bit odd. Okay. So, several of the characters are apparently required first. Okay, you're required first. Group physical exams are very meaningful to our research. Although it's only for certain age groups, we can examine many of the Hinamizawan residents or Hinamizuan residents at the same time. It's a perfect cover for our research center. Also, because of several arrangements, we have a monopoly on the village's corpses, and can perform autopsies on them too. There certainly was an environment this rich, an opportunity for those in the medical field. Our follow-up on the work of the late Dr. Takano is going smoothly. The amount of data he compiled is absolutely astounding. He truly was an incredible researcher. Excuse me, Director. Staring directly at her boobs. Oh, Takano-san. Thanks for your work. We just received the rest of the test results from Tokyo. Here they are. Thank you. It's getting interesting, isn't it? Hee hee? And if you remember from the last chapter, or last part, Mio Takano, or Miyoko Tanashi, the original Super Meat Boy. I'm making multiple references. I'm glad we can share this joy. Takano-san is my assistant who was sent from the Self-Defense Force, who has got the Shadow Clone Jutsu, apparently. But she's far from the image I have an SDF officer. Just like our research is being concealed, maybe her identity is concealed too. I'm sure her name is an alias as well. I'm just a doctor and a researcher. Without Takano-san's support, it would be impossible for me to manage this institution. She's a pipeline to her clients in Tokyo, air quotes, my assistant, as well as a researcher who's an expert on Hinamizawa syndrome. Her existence is absolutely necessary here. The more I think about it, the more I feel this should have been the Takano Institute rather than the Irie Institute. and she should have been the director. But that was explained to me when they asked me to take this position. My client wanted a civilian to manage this place. They searched for a person who met their requirements, and there I was. I became the director. I have a feeling I'm just a puppet on their strings. But I won't just sit here and do nothing. I was asked to research a rare disease. I am a researcher, so of course I'm excited about that. My client's goals might be different, but I'm here out of the desire to unravel the mysteries of the Hinamizawa syndrome and be the first person to uncover a new mystery for mankind. We have all this data that suggests the existence of a parasite as the cause of the syndrome. Yet we still can't find factual evidence of the culprit microbe itself. That's true. I thought we'd find it easily if we used an electron microscope. Viruses are too small to see with a regular microscope, so the invention of the electron microscope was a dramatic advancement in the world of medicine. However, it's very expensive. There's no way for a normal doctor to acquire one. The late Dr. Takano said an electron microscope could find the cause of the disease, but it seems his theory has been proven wrong. Even Takano-san was hoping an electron microscope would find it. She was disappointed when she didn't uncover anything. After all the autopsies she performed, our research seems to have its first snag. It's actually stalled our work for several weeks now. Yeah, because the parasite, dissolves because it requires the active electric current of the human brain to stay alive. So we need to think about where to go from here. By the way, the very first video in the playlist called Hanyu, the useless goddess, I make a short video of a few minutes, just a few minutes of me talking. Yep, that'll be the other video that's in the description. I'll have 2 videos in the description. But I explain a little bit, but then again I've gone into more detail in other videos too about my own little take on this. Mostly based off of established lore to a large degree of this game, but a lot of it's also just my own conjecture. Which means they're either smaller than microscopic, or maybe there is something wrong with the specimen itself. What do you mean? For example, as you know, wild mice have tons of fleas on them. But you can't find fleas on dead mice. That's because when the mouse dies, their habitat dies as well. So if the host dies, the parasite's world will end too. That's right. Just like you won't find a living human in a post-apocalyptic world. Therefore, we just have to look into the earth before it ends, right? Hee hee? That's true. However, we need to think about human rights. It's hard to look into the brain while the patient is still alive. Examining a living human's brain. No matter how you sugar-coated it, that bore very grave meaning. From a medical standpoint, it's necessary, but we have rules and morals in this world, and we have to advance medicine within such boundaries. There was a time when I was studying lobotomies for the betterment of mankind. I don't think I was wrong. However, could I ever be forgiven under our ideas of ethics? I don't know. One day my judgment will be handed down by the devil. Whether I'm guilty or not, I have to accept it. As I reflected upon my past, I heard a voice. It was Takano-san's. It was very clear and simple, yet it struck me with surprise. Understood. Let me prepare a world on the verge of death. What? I'm startled. Sometimes the phrase advancing medicine bore the whisper of the devil tempting us to accept sacrifices. I heard that devil whisper. Hee hee. It's not that difficult. I just have to find a Hinamizawa resident who's about to die. That's all. But even if they're about to die, who would be brave enough to provide their body for research while still alive? Don't worry about that. If they're dying anyway, we're just going to put them to sleep a little sooner. On paper, of course. The patient would be legally declared dead, even though they're still alive, and we'd perform an autopsy while they're still alive. That's impossible. Besides, if we perform neurological surgery, we have to do a circular incision on the cranial area. Their family will notice the marks for sure. That's where we come in. I'll have the mountain dogs look for a patient at a local hospital that matches our needs immediately. All you have to do is wait with a knife and a fork in your hands. I'll bring your meal right away. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha! Miyo Takano-san is my partner, there's no question about that. But I just can't trust her. It's her extremities as a researcher which contrast largely with mine. But are we so different? I'm here simply waiting with a knife and a fork in my hands, just as she told me to. I just don't want to witness such a gruesome scene, that's all. What's she preparing? She's preparing for me now is exactly what I want. Who's the hypocrite? Not her. It's me. How can I say I'm different, knowing what I've done in the past? I've performed lobotomies without the patient's consent, despite it being surgery that might affect their life forever. How is that different from what she's doing? I have never doubted my past achievements. However, when I look at her, I start to feel unease. Takano-san is talking to Okanogi-san on the intercom in my office. I'm sure she's telling him to come over so she can explain him what was just discussed. I'm simply watching without stopping her. I begin to reflect up on my past, to remember why I chose to become a doctor. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I hope you have all the hugs and head pats you could ever want. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.